Three sisters,
each with one brain cell.
And way too many opinions.
Join us and grab a cup of tea.
Or coffee, because here the tangents are strong.
And the topics are a little questionable.
Welcome to
the three brain cells. That's perfect.
Hello, welcome back. It's been a
Shalom.
while. You might have missed us.
Hopefully.
We hope so.
But we're back.
We are back.
Better than ever.
Always and forever.
You guys can be the judge of that. So today, children, PSA for spoilers, if anyone really cares. But we will be talking about Netflix's new released documentary, Lucy Letby, and all that encompasses the case that is technically still ongoing that takes place in the UK. So
I'm convinced Jazrin has notifications set to get notified when a new documentary gets released on Netflix, because somehow you always know and watch them like right after they've been released.
I think it's because I've liked so many that or stuff like it that it just automatically auto populates at the top as here's what's coming out next, or or this is what's coming out soon, or
Netflix this often.
I guess so.
I don't know. Sometimes I try I'll turn something on in the background and I'll go to Netflix for that, or I'm washing dishes, I'll watch something on Netflix. So, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Anyhow. But yeah, gotta love the documentaries. So people who have or have not seen this documentary, here's a quick rundown, right? It is this neonatal nurse out in the UK who has been linked to dozens, I would say, of cases where infants have either what they call collapsed, so fallen suddenly ill or their health is rapidly decreased, and some of which who have died that have been under her care while she was at the said unit of the hospital. So what were your guys' thoughts after?
Wait, just to clarify one thing, she wasn't necessarily the one who was taking care of them. She just was on the shift.
Correct. She was just on shift. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So what were your guys' thoughts?
Of the documentary or of the case?
Whoa.
Because I have different thoughts for both of them.
Okay.
The documentary itself was poorly done, in my opinion.
Yes.
I think the usage of AI was kind of like...
It was
that was so weird. I was like,
that was
why?
so freaky.
Why?
Yes.
I preferred the shadow people instead. Just give
yes.
Where they could have just shown other clips of more
something else. Yeah, did they really not have clips of other things?
Yeah. And for the show to have just come out this week or last week or something, I feel like it was so vague on the details of the case. I was like, can I get more, please?
I know. There are a lot of questions I had.
They build up to this post-it note thingy, whatever, that she wrote, and they're like, this basically is her confessing, and then they read you 5 words from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really could have used more.
I know. I really wanted to pause and try and read her handwriting, but at the same time, I can't read that.
I couldn't even read the why at that. I was like, you sure that says why? I don't know if that says why.
I could read help.
No, I read help. Here's they. The case itself, though, is interesting. I just wish I had more information so I could make a better
judgment, or
have a better opinion on what I think, if she's guilty or not. I don't know
because she just she just has such a lack of emotion in general.
Yes.
Either way, whether
Right.
she did it or not, there's like no emotion happening. Which
Yeah.
I get it. At first, you can kind of be like, what am I being accused of? What the
Yeah.
heck? But it's been months, if not a year since it's happened. Wait, no, more
The
than
clips that
It
we
was,
see are like years
2024.
Those are
after.
years after. I want to say it.
So-
Yeah, it was 2023 where it took place. I want to say.
So we've had years to really think about this, and like
Reflect.
we still see.
Well, I mean, I guess I can. I mean, you're probably at that point numb to like it's like you've probably
Yeah.
spent
Maybe.
hours and like energy voicing that you're innocent and like what the heck is
She
happening. And
doesn't.
well, they only show us those clips, right? That are
That's true.
years after that she's been taken into custody. So I mean, I this is what I'm saying is like, why are we not getting more from? Because I feel like when they first go in and arrest her, she's still fairly emotionless, but I feel like it's more raw emotion. Like it's like, what
You
the
want to know what really got me? Was when she
Yeah.
said, "Can I say goodbye to my cat?"
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I was going to bring up. Like, no emotion for any of it when they're reading her all this stuff, when they're asking her all these questions, but it's, I need to say goodbye to my cat. Like, okay, also, why do you have to say goodbye? Why does it sound like you're never going to see your cat again? Were you guilty then? And you know that you're going to be arrested and go to
That's
jail?
not what goodbye means.
I don't know.
say
I'm just
bye
saying.
to people
The
when
way
they,
she
when you
did
leave
it
your
was
house.
like-
Do you not say bye to your dogs?
I say see you later. We don't say goodbye.
Okay, but bye. Like you don't.
No, I say
Okay,
see you
what
later.
was she
Have a
supposed
great
to
day.
say?
I'll be
Can I
back at
say
this
see
time.
you later to my cat? Like that's not.
Well,
what
she didn't
people
think she was
say.
going to
was
see him
just-
later.
It was just the fact that that was the first
No,
thing that came to
It
her
was
mind.
so.
Yes,
It
that
was
was her
very
emotion.
strange.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But the other strange thing during that scene, or before that, I should say, was like when they came into arrest her and they're like, oh, we're going to go get your dad from upstairs. Like, we need, everyone who's in the house and the one room. It was like after they had like talked with her and then he came downstairs, that's when she turned away and like started crying. So like for me, I didn't know if it was like she was showing emotion because he was there or if it's like now everything's dawning on her or
It's
something.
probably like the reality of it. Like I remember when I got pulled over for the first time in my life, and I was a wee little 18-year-old who was driving home at like 11 o'clock from work, and I got pulled over, and the cop was just like, asking for the license, everything. And I was just like, this.
Stone-faced.
But the moment he walked away and I called mom and dad, I started crying. So I think it's just like,
Yeah.
like
You feel
sometimes it's
comfortable
just
showing
like
emotions too?
yeah.
Yeah. True. Okay. Fair enough.
So I mean, I can. That's why I say those clips to me probably are more like a reality of what her emotion was. Because I mean, even later on, they show her crying when she's getting questioned. When they finally tell you that, like, what was she saying about her notes or something like that?
Oh, that it was
a lot of high stress environment, and
yeah.
she was having to take care of like high acuity babies, and it was like I feel like in that moment you see her cry and you get some emotion from her. So I don't know. I feel like their choice of clips was kind of
weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It was
Right.
just like I want to see more than I feel like as Sully was saying, like when you're listening to interviews, usually other documentaries, they're showing you other clips and stuff, giving you more background as you're listening to this. And it's like, instead we got AI faces. Like,
yeah. So freaking creepy. They first started talking and I was like scrolling on my phone and then I looked up and I'm like paused and I'm like, is this oh my God, no, this is AI.
Yeah.
And then it like really freaked me out. I'm like, this is what we're doing now?
Because they look too flawless too. It was just
I mean,
like,
they put it in the corner of the screen.
why are they so
Yeah, they do.
shiny?
Yeah, I don't know.
Creepy.
And the hair wasn't moving.
And it was
her
like the
fly
same
was-
background for both of them. It was like,
Yeah.
couldn't we at least
Yeah.
change that
No,
up?
literally.
Made
Like,
it
we
feel
could have put a
in
little bit
different
more
ways.
effort into this. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That was weird. That was really weird to me.
Yeah.
But yeah. But okay, so like I was like all on board, like, wow, girl's so guilty. Because you know what got me were those documents. Why do you have a box of documents? Like,
okay, so this is where I'm like, I wish they gave us better information because I decided to, because I was not satisfied with the documentary. So I went on Google after. Like, apparently, in that box there was only 5. They found the documents scattered throughout the house in different places. So and in that box, none of them were related to any of the babies that had died or had collapsed or whatever. So it was just like, why do you're misleading your audience? Like,
yeah.
Because they quite literally said that they found like 250 documents.
Yeah,
they did. I think it was just over 250 that I saw, like 257. But it was scattered throughout the house. They weren't all just in that box.
Oh, because they mentioned something about it being chronological order.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, bro, what does this even? I don't know. This is why I'm just saying it just felt like they were trying to make her seem extremely guilty in the documentary, while also at the end being like, but maybe she's not, you know.
But even then, they didn't. They really do leave you feeling like she is still guilty.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
absolutely,
for sure.
Because even the friend was like, "I'm being called like a
like
friend of a child killer or something." Like
yeah,
that. Like a baby murderer.
Yeah.
Like and it's like,
a baby murder. Yeah.
Oh.
I know. But like my whole thing about it was like, well, I feel like they didn't highlight a lot of the other side of the case, you know, but like when that one guy came on and was like talking about like, well, there wasn't that much evidence in this case, you know, like starts breaking everything down. You're like, okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. Like, especially once you find out like she had the most experience, like she had the most training and stuff like that. So yeah, obviously she's going to be tagged on to more difficult cases that already increases her chances of being with children that are more likely to die. And then you bring into the fact that like going through some of the cases, they go through like how just the healthcare for the moms like wasn't, you know, done correctly to help prevent something or what have you. And then also, like, she picked up extra shifts. So obviously she's going to be at the hospital a lot more than other people. But then again, we don't know if other people picked up more shifts either. Like, what was the breakdown of that?
Yeah, I guess I think the evidence was lacking, in my opinion. The one thing that was like, oh, interesting was like when they're like, most of it was happening on the nighttime shifts when she's working, and then they switch her to daytime shifts, and then they put it happen in the day. And I was like, that's weird.
Peculiar,
right? But like, they never established what her MO was. Like they gave us a weak excuse of, oh, she was shut out by the nurses when she was a nursing student.
Right.
Okay, but what does that make? Like, how does that make you want to kill babies? Like,
right?
Oh, what?
Like there was no motive, but then like also like, okay, serial killers usually like, okay, maybe they'll do their first 1, 2, 3 kills, and then they kind of find their knack, the thing that they want to revert back to, that thing that like satisfies that little that signature move that they have. There was no signature across these babies.
Yeah,
they all died differently. Maybe some of them a little similar, but all of them were still different. Like if one of them was going to have an air embolism, you'd expect the majority of them to be dying of an air embolism. Okay. You know, if one of them was going to be overfed, you'd expect all of them to be overfed. Like, so the fact that like all these things differ just like gives like, she's not a serial killer. Like, or she just was that smart and thinking ahead that she's like, they're going to be.
This was really suspicious to me because when they were first like, oh, well, we need to send these cases out to experts of medical field, like to have this analyzed to even see if there's even a possibility of it being a murder. And then the one dude is like, this is the thing I like to do. Mind you, he's a prosecutor to begin with. Yeah. And he's like, let me see the case.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. This one case is a little weird. So let me look at the other ones. Let me find thread that like connects them all and makes it bad. And then he goes, yeah, no, these aren't natural causes. And then they go, oh, we're looking for a murder. Where's our second opinion?
No, literally.
Where's our third opinion? Where's our seventh opinion?
Yeah.
We're talking about a murder here. Like,
yeah. And he was a lawyer?
Yeah.
Not even a doctor.
Well, he said that he testifies for, like, he's one of those medical...
His name was, like, Dr. Craig or something like that. Or
also at the same time, it quite literally said, when they, like, when it had the little thing, it said prosecutor.
Yeah.
Underneath.
Yeah.
So
I remember now that yeah. Yeah, and the way I feel like he said it in there, he was like, there was no changing his mind that she was the one who did this. Like, it's just like,
right. Which, like, then leads you to believe, like, okay, so first off, I feel like they didn't cover like the percentages of like the death rate compared to other facilities in their area.
True.
Also, like, I wanted to know, like,
what their previous death rate was. Like, they just said
in past years, right?
What does that mean?
Yeah, like that means nothing to me.
Or
Did it
then
increase
like,
because your increase in neonatal patients increased? You know, like, did another hospital shut down nearby that like influxed more patients over? You know, or what have you?
Because they talk about the staffing issue, but they don't even talk about how much that decreased.
Right.
What were they working with beforehand?
Right. And maybe I missed this, but did they mention after she left if the deaths kept happening?
They don't. I don't think so.
They mentioned that that they decreased significantly, or like they stopped, but then they also bring up, like, towards the end of the documentary that yes, they stopped because they decreased the number of patients they got. So obviously that percentage is going to decrease. I don't know about like what kind of cases they took on and stuff like that. Like if there was a difficult neonatal case and they sent them out to another hospital or something, like, and that's my other thing. Like, do they have like trauma levels there? Like, was their neonatal like a higher level than more in the area, so they dealt with difficult cases? Or, you know, like, what was the situation? I feel like we were missing so many facts about this.
Well, and it's just also, I think the weirdest part was that they said that there were 3 deaths in like 2 weeks, but that overall there were like 13 like
over
19
like the course
possible
of like 6 months or something.
Over like a year, because it was like from June
Yeah.
2023 to July of 24 or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
And I was like, so maybe the 3 in the 2 weeks is a little weird, but I think the rest of them are pretty
and like,
standard.
I feel like that's normal. Like, you're gonna have a yearly average, but obviously throughout the year that average is gonna be, that's how you get an average. Like, it's gonna be higher at some times and lower at like, that's just how it works, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
right. So then that leads you to like
13 deaths in a year for the NICU.
Yeah,
when you
honestly,
have high acuity babies, I can't even imagine how many babies they put through there.
Yeah.
And 13, I mean, those babies are prematurely born with congenital conditions that are like are gonna expose them to a higher risk of death. So just like, if they really only had like 13 deaths in a year, I would be surprised that that's truly an issue. But
right. Exactly. And so then, like, that's my next thing. So then, like, when they bring up the fact that, like, okay, was the hospital really liable for something? And then they were trying to more or less pin it on her. Well, I would not put it past an organization to do that to somebody. Like, it seems a little peculiar, but then at the same time, like, you say that, this all gets brought up with Lucy Letby. And then after that, okay, now we'll actually start decreasing our staff. Now we'll start making cases more load manageable. Like,
yeah, they weren't proactive, which is
they weren't.
So,
which is like almost them admitting guilt themselves. Like,
yeah,
obviously this was a problem, and at the time when Lucy was on the unit, that's what they were dealing with. And because they're all stretched so thin. I mean, like, so then I almost like want to see like, okay, what does that look like when you take her off the unit with that high work stress load? You know?
Yeah.
Do the numbers match?
Yeah.
Mind you, this whole time I was sitting over here being like, we're gonna find out that, because they were like, they'd said like at one point that, oh, she was like a really amazing nurse, she knows what she's doing, and then in the interview they're like, in like the overall detail, like, yeah, she knows what she's talking about, but then when you get down to the specifics, she didn't. I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna find out that she didn't truly pass like her nursing like exam or something, and she actually didn't know what she was doing, and so she feels like it's her fault because she knows that she shouldn't be doing this in the first place. I thought it was gonna be something like that, and then when it was like, I was like, okay, maybe that's not it. I was like, maybe it's something like with like her, like in her, because like with the whole Dr. Gray, like Grey's Anatomy, Miranda Bailey, when she has like the infection.
The gloves. Yeah.
I was like, maybe it's gonna be one of those kinds of cases, and that's why she like feels like it's her fault, but she doesn't know why. And then no, and it was still no, and it was like I was trying to come up with something here, and then there was nothing.
So like going off of that whole like glove thing, like could that also have been like another like hospital liability? Like were they trying to cut costs somewhere? And so maybe the equipment they were buying, like that little filter they're talking about that like make sure no air bubbles get into the line, or like the bags that had insulin in them somehow, like were these manufacturer things? Like were you skipping corners where corners shouldn't be skipped, and this was the result? You know, like did manufacturers change over the year? You know, so like these are also facts. Like, did they dig into these things? Are these like bridges they crossed and looked at? Like, I need to know.
And then it was the fact that they had considered possible infection or contamination, and then never said anything about the facilities being tested.
Yeah. I wish they would have just gone more into detail about the I'm sure they did autopsies on these babies. Right. It would have been really nice to know like the true cause of death in each of the babies.
Yeah. Like what it was ruled as.
We know there one was an air embolism. I don't remember if they mentioned any of those.
Because I remember them mentioning that some of them like were overfed, which pushed up on their diaphragm, which caused breathing issues. But like, okay, I don't know if you remember at the very beginning of the documentary, they talked about something about like a breathing tube or something like that being taken out of a child or something, or maybe it was like a feeding tube.
And they also mentioned like common rashes that appeared on quite a few of them.
Yep.
But that wasn't really touched on again.
Well, they didn't even describe the rashes to us.
No.
But then later, when they talked to the one doctor who wrote that paper, and he's like, the rashes they described were for when I want to know who the lawyer was for this woman, because did they try at all? Like literally, why are they?
And then, like, why did they call their own expert witnesses?
Exactly.
They did bring that up in the documentary. Like, why did the defense have their own expert witness?
Like, did they try at all? Because I feel like this woman, even when they show us every single interview, and the lawyer's sitting right next to her, and they just looking down, saying not a word.
Nothing.
This is crazy.
Yeah, like seriously, like was this lawyer paid for by the hospital? Did she like sign an agreement to just go down for everything or something like that? Like,
like it honestly is baffling that there was enough evidence to even get this into court, because there's no evidence.
There's no true, stone cold evidence,
right? And that like a jury could like conclusively agree. I guess I don't know. Actually, it's not the same as it is here. They don't have a jury like that. It's just the judge or whatever that makes the decision, isn't it?
Yeah, I got no clue
what they're talking about. I don't know. Either way. But like, back again to like the defense. Like, they did like there was no expert witness. There was no rebuttal. It seemed like from their end. Like it was all just like, yeah, you guys can just say what you want. We'll just sit here, you know.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll agree with you.
Right.
Because like
Well,
when
like-
they're sitting in court talking about the note thing she wrote that says like murder or whatever, why did they not bring up the other things that she said in there? Because like
Yes.
to me that just makes no sense.
Or also bring up the fact of when they were written. They act like these were written like while the cases were going on. This happened after the fact, when she was like getting mental health treatment and she was told to write down her feelings. That's when these notes were written. It wasn't like she just like went and squeezed an air bubble in a tube and ran back to her desk and was like, I am evil. You know, on a post-it note. Like that's how they made her out to be. That's like what I imagined when I saw these post-it notes at first. And then they finally explain, like, yeah, no, these happen only because she was told to write these notes and stuff like that. And then it's like, okay, then I feel like that's not evidence at all. Because like going back to their point, like she's being told that she's being investigated for all these cases, that she could have been the cause for all these deaths.
But
And now
also,
you're like,
sorry.
like obviously I'm gonna be like, yeah, okay, am I the problem? Like now you're gonna be like self-reflecting on all these things. Go ahead, Zoe.
That kind of feels confidential. Like I feel like if your therapist tells you, oh, hey, this is an activity I want you to do, that doesn't seem like something that can
That
be
should be shared.
put into court for
I feel like
evidence.
it shouldn't.
Unless it's just the fact that they found it at her house, so they're like, we can have
Yeah, I
it.
don't know how it works in your
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but that, like, I just
No,
it's like-
I
But that was okay. That was my other thing.
like
Another thing that the hospital paid for, or that we know they paid for, or got her admitted into, was mental health. They literally had her go into a program after she left the unit.
yeah.
what's weird about that?
I don't know. Just like, is that standard practice? Is it because they knew something else? That's all. Just throwing it out there.
It's just
I don't know. It was just another peculiar thing for me.
it's just sad.
You know, because I mean, like, think about it. Like, a doctor is accused of killing patients, but don't worry, guys. We won't let them on the ward. We're just gonna go get them some mental health treatment real quick. You know, like,
But she wasn't accused at that time, right? They just
she was like under investigation or something. Yeah.
So I mean, legally they
It's true.
can't fire her. They don't like.
Okay.
There's no
True.
grounds for any of that
For
yet.
it. Okay.
So,
Good point. So maybe that was the next step that they could have taken. Okay. Legally speaking, that makes sense.
but going back to the papers that she had in her house, not gonna lie, I don't know why that was such a big deal because I know I sometimes bring papers home and I'm like, oops, forgot to throw that away. No, I make sure I bring it back so I can throw it in their bin.
I
But
think
that was my
more the
point.
thing.
weird part
Was,
Yeah.
like, you definitely realize at some point that you had it on you. At some point, you bring it back.
Yeah. And it killed me when they showed a picture that she had a shredder at home.
yeah. But you know, to be fair, when you
She
live
did
with your
say-
parents, sometimes you don't realize the things that are in the house. Like I know when we lived with mom and dad, and I would be like, "Oh, we have this. Okay, cool."
Yeah. That makes sense. But yeah, but like to your point though, like if you know you're clean, you know, when you're cleaning out your scrub top pockets or whatever pockets, and you're like, oh, whoops, like you set it somewhere where you can take with you the next day to shred it or, you know, to dispose of it properly.
Yeah.
And so, you know, so like I remember her bringing up the point, like, yep, you know, sometimes I forget to clean out my pockets before I go or whatever, check my pockets. But there was never a point of like, oh, this is what I would usually go through to like, you know, bring them back or whatever. Or like, was she just that careless with everything that
Well, she
just had them
ended
spread
up
around the house?
saying something along the lines of like she likes to have it to reflect back on or something. Or no, she's talking about that was the initials.
That was
in
when
her
the
notebook
texting
thing
and
or
stuff.
whatever.
Yeah, that was the asterisks.
was
That
weird.
one's a little
That
weird.
was weird.
That's a little weird because like
Peculiar. Yeah, and the reflecting on was like, and again, we don't know who she is totally as a person. They really didn't get into that much, except for the friend a little bit. But like, was she that kind of more empathetic person where, you know, because they like bring up the fact that like after that baby Zoe died, that she went and searched up the parents and stuff like that. You know, like was that her more or less grieving? Like, did she care so much for these children that like that was her grieving process? You know, to like remember them, almost like memorialize them, and then like take that case with her to the next baby or something like that. You know, like was that her coping and grieving process?
And it very much could be. I mean, I don't know. Again, they didn't go into much detail, but like as a nurse, you spend so much time with the patient and the patient's family. I'm sure there was a connection built. I mean, when I spent a few days in the NICU, the parents are literally there as much as they can be. So I can't like you could easily grow a connection with them, and maybe that's her way of checking in on them or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really wish they went into more of her background, because I was really confused when they said she was shy and like quiet, because when the friend
went
talked
up to the girl, yeah,
I was like, ain't no way, because I know I wouldn't do that. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
like even I was saying that, I was like,
I know, like she literally.
did
I'm
they
like, yeah, they said
misspeak
that, and I'm
here?
like,
Like,
Yeah,
didn't she just say she got through like walking up
Right.
to the girl and making friends with her? I'm like, that's not what shy kids do.
Because after the friend talked about her, I was like, oh, she's some outgoing. Like, and then talked about how in the room when they were taking their lunch or whatever, and she tried to engage in
Join in
conversation with the
conversation.
nurse, and I was like, she must be super outgoing, because I know I couldn't do that.
And then they go,
Seriously?
maybe it's because she's shy and just
I was like,
not like putting herself out there. And I was like, I'm sorry, wait, what? Did we
sure about that?
are we talking about the same person here?
Right, exactly. So then it's like, are they trying to like make a personality fit that fits their killer? You know, like.
But this was the friend. The friend said that.
That she was
She was
shy. Oh yeah,
shy?
she did say that. Yeah,
She was like,
did.
maybe they didn't like her because she was
Because
shy.
she was shy.
And I
She
was
did
like-
say that. You're right. Never mind.
And so it was so confusing. It was like,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah, they really went back and forth on that. Maybe she had a split personality, you guys.
Honestly, that was like my other thing. Was like, maybe she does, because she kept saying how she doesn't remember things. I was like, shoot, maybe she's got like this
Seriously.
other personality that comes out in high stress like situations.
Seriously, and I don't know if that was like her cop out, like rather than like saying no comment 200 more times. Like I don't remember, you know, especially like the text messages and stuff like that. Like I don't get me wrong, I don't remember every text I send and stuff like that. But like you know, once they show you the text and stuff, you can be like, oh yeah, no, I remember sending that.
The patience, that one's not like. I mean, you don't remember every single page, especially if they're just telling you their name. I'd be like,
yeah, I'd be like, you need to elaborate.
You need to give me way more information. Like that's like,
what
you
happened with this
picture,
baby?
maybe. Although it's a baby, so I don't know how much a picture would help you.
True.
Well, they did give context, but I'm sure when you're in the NICU and babies crash frequently, like,
and they might blend together.
Similar situations over and over that I can't imagine you'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that one time with that one kid. Like,
right. Yeah.
Unless it was something like super profound or something. Like maybe it was the first time it happened to her, or it was a baby that had been there for a really long time and she connect. Like it would have to be something that you like make a big connection with. And I feel like for the most part, most of those babies probably weren't. Especially if she wasn't even the one who was actually the nurse for that baby. Like,
right. True.
Because I think at one point they had said like she remembered most of the other babies, but not baby Zoe or something like that.
Yeah.
But then the mom of baby Zoe literally said that once she saw her, she remembered that she was just standing there doing nothing.
Yeah, that was a little weird to me.
And holding a clipboard.
That was weird. And honestly not needed, because also like, isn't there always supposed to be someone in the NICU ward like watching over the babies? Like I wouldn't just trust to leave parents in the NICU by themselves.
Yeah, but the nurse isn't usually like directly in the room all the time, just standing there, unless they have. I mean, because usually they're sitting at their computer station just right outside the room,
right, monitoring everything.
So,
fair enough.
I don't know, but I guess I was very confused about timeline as well. Like, when did she start working in the NICU, and then when did these things start happening?
Right. Yeah.
I was under the impression that she was very new there. So like,
Ooh, and then they're like, she's experienced. And I was like, wait, what?
Right. Yeah, like she's the most experienced person or something like that. I'm like, okay, 2 + 2 is not equaling 4 here. Like, what is
literally.
happening?
I was like, I could really use like.
But even like
context
from when all these things were happening to when they were interviewing her the first time, like I was still like, wait, what? Wait, where's this timeline?
Even the timeline when with the babies were dying, like it felt so like not clear for the most part.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I feel like they were just trying to throw a lot at you to almost confuse you so that you're like, oh yeah, okay, lots of babies dying. This lady's connected to him.
Sounds like
guilty. Right.
Well, I was really surprised when I turned it on and it was an 1.5-hour movie. I was expecting it to be one of their docuseries that is like hour-long episodes and like 3 episodes, because that definitely felt like that deserved more time. Like it
definitely did.
More.
Yeah. It definitely should have gotten broken down more, but like there's also obviously so much more to it, because clearly, I mean, like at the end, you know, they show like the whatever's still going on, and there's all these investigations that are still going. It's like, are we gonna get a part 2 then? Like,
I just feel like this movie was almost like she's guilty and we want you to see that she's guilty. Like, stop thinking otherwise. Like, that's what it felt like. It was just like propaganda for you to believe that she's guilty.
Yeah, that's true. I want to know who pushed this.
Yeah, I don't know.
This film.
The hospital
produced it.
Really?
Go back, connect the dots. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, turns out
and it was weird because her parents didn't have anything to say. Like, they weren't in the documentary.
They weren't. Yeah, you know, that is really weird to me, because clearly they were pretty emotional about it when she was getting arrested. So like, why were they like? I would have loved to hear about your daughter's character from them themselves,
like, especially because like
as a kid, like
that. I want to know what she was like as a kid.
Like, because then there was that one TikTok person who was like, I do a lot of cases on serial killers, and most of them are like killing puppies and stuff beforehand.
Yeah.
This lady didn't do any of it. But it's like, but we also have no clue what she was like.
No information. You gave us none of that.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. I know. So it's like, it's really hard to like do it. But then my other thing is like, okay, like I feel like there's 3 options, right? It wasn't her and it's something else that was going on. It was her and she did it on purpose, or it was her and it was just malpractice. Like, you know, maybe she was stretched too thin, was working way too much overtime, didn't get enough sleep, maybe was confusing cases, injected insulin into a bag that should have gone to another baby, or maybe fed one baby, you know, like switched syringes and one baby should have gotten more and she accidentally gave it to another one, you know, like, so I feel like in my head, if it was her, that makes more sense to me, it being malpractice.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there could have been a lot more to her character. I mean, they could even have interviewed like people she was currently working with at the time, what she was like as a nurse.
Yeah.
Like, there could have just been a lot more to her character. It just felt very, I don't know.
It honestly, it felt very distant. I mean, we didn't really get an interview with her. We just saw the interviews with the cops. We saw her getting arrested like 3 times in her house, and like that was kind of it. I wish they had a sit down with her. What else is she doing in prison right now? Talk to us.
I think the other thing that annoyed me so much was literally within like the first minute or whatever, they gave you basically the entire story.
Yes.
I was like, bro.
No, because literally they're like
nothing.
And she was found guilty, and I'm like, well, there goes the surprise.
Sad.
And then they go to the other dude, and he's like, there's no evidence of murder. And they're like, is she guilty or not? And I'm like, bro, what?
Yeah.
No, and so because of that, I was thinking we would come to a conclusion by the end. And no, it's the same. That is the conclusion.
That is it.
I guess so.
That's what it
No,
should
literally
be.
when they said and she's found guilty, I was like, whoa. whoa, we skipped some time here. There must be a lot that happens after she was found guilty for us to
No,
learn about.
literally.
But no, that was just you telling me the whole entire story right there.
Yep. Pretty much. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's an interesting case. A very, very poorly done documentary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she deserves
And honestly,
better.
I mean, that honestly reflects on the case too. It was poorly
That
investigated.
is
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah,
She definitely deserves better than that. I feel bad for
she
her.
does.
Even
Yeah.
if she may possibly be guilty, she definitely still deserves to like have a
Have
A
a full
rightful trial,
investigation.
like an
Yeah.
Seriously,
actual evidence,
yeah.
right?
something.
Yeah.
Because like,
Do
there's
they not
no
have
way that
security
would've-
cameras? Like,
That's my point. Especially when they mentioned like no one saw her do any of this. You're trying to tell me with how many dozens of children you think she tampered with, no one had any clue of anything that like no one saw her swipe some insulin from the medicine cabinet. No one like saw her like, whatever. Like you're really trying to tell me
Also-
no one saw anything?
Why is insulin just in a cabinet that you can open with a key, bro? I'm confusion about
It's
that
also
one.
the UK. Like I don't know how their stuff
Sure,
works.
I don't know what their
Like how
medical
limited
system
security is
like
over there.
but
Yeah.
in terms of cameras, I don't know how it is there, but I know here in hospitals there's cameras in the hallway, but you can't have them in
In the
patient rooms.
wards.
no, that's
Yeah.
fine. Like, I get
But
that,
you
but like
see her
in the
going in
hallway,
and out of rooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, like, even
timestamps would
around,
match
like,
up, things
medicine
like
cabinets
that.
and stuff like that, there is still, like, at least here, like, there's keypads and stuff. Like, so, like, every
Yeah.
time you access the cabinet, your signature is pretty much written into it. Like, this is the time that so-and-so accessed the cart. And
But
then
they said it
usually you
was
have to,
with a
like,
key.
say what I know, which
like
is
a
just
lock and
stupid.
key.
Yeah,
Like,
which I don't know. But then
I
you
don't
would think
know.
there's, like, a security camera
There-
on the
there should
cabinet.
be. See,
Because
this is where
anybody
it's
could like steal a key then, or Jimmy
it
rig a
should be
key.
the hospital
lock.
because
Like
the hospital
the hospital's liable at this point
measures
for
and
like
stuff. No,
so
they
many
literally
things.
are.
Can someone sue the hospital? I know Lucy's still in jail, but someone sue the hospital because
No, literally any of these people. Any of these people
like
were their kids.
golly.
Like the lady who had baby Zoe, and the medical person's like, she should have been giving antibiotics as
Yes.
soon as
Yeah.
this happened. Like,
Right. While she was in labor. Why didn't she sue the hospital? Why didn't she sue for malpractice? Like if she went to any other hospital, would she have been given those antibiotics? Like clearly this was a hospital situation. There were so many situations where this is a hospital problem. So
Yeah.
maybe she is their fault guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else you. I mean, we don't have enough information to say she's truly guilty.
No.
So,
And honestly, I think the one strongest evidence that they have to all this is just the fact that she was there for every case.
yeah, I think that is the stronger. I think on top of that, the fact that the deaths pattern lined up when she switched
Right,
from notes
when
to
she
days. I
switched
think
shifts,
that
yeah,
right
that
there is probably
was a
the
big one.
strongest.
yeah.
But also, I feel like it would have been. This is where I'm saying like timeline and more specific details would have helped because what do you mean it shift? Was
Yeah.
there only nighttime deaths before, and then all of a sudden it was just
Right,
because then I feel like that would be
Well, and
pretty
also,
clear.
just like, are you telling me this is really all the babies that collapsed and also died? I don't believe that.
No, right,
So please do tell me, was she there for the rest of them too?
right,
I doubt it.
exactly.
So it was
True.
like, to me, it's
Also,
like, if you take one person and be like, oh, how many deaths and babies collapsed while they were on shift, it'd probably be the same amount.
right.
So
Yeah.
why is it just her?
Right.
Why is it
Because
just
when
her?
they were showing all the people who were there on the shift, it's like none of those people had a relatively small number
No,
of
exactly.
collapses
Right.
and deaths. Like,
Exactly.
Right. It just so happened that her column checked all of the boxes.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And here's my other thing though, is like, could it not have been someone else? Maybe like someone who had just gotten done with their shift that screwed something up, and then all of a sudden that affected the baby later on into her shift, and now all of a sudden, yeah, this baby's collapsing on your shift.
That's very possible.
And also the thing that I thought that they were going to bring up with like the other nurses was that they were trying to sabotage her, not that that was her motive.
Right.
I thought that they hated her so much or something. Like it was going to be something like that. Like, oh, she's a new nurse, and so then she's doing really well though, and she's getting recognized, and so these other nurses who have been here for a while don't like this, and so they're trying to sabotage. But no,
I think where they went wrong as well is like they didn't even like fully clarify if the deaths were murders. Like they couldn't even say they were truly murder. Like they were like,
exactly, that's the point,
kind of. So we're gonna go with it. Like,
well, and that's the other thing. Like they never actually like said like on the birth or like on the death certificate what was the cause of death.
Yeah.
Like
and
what does it say on the death certificate?
And this is where I go back to like who was her lawyer, because literally, why is this not the first thing you should tackle? Is like these weren't even like documented as murders, as like intentional deaths. Like that should be literally the first thing. Show me what the cause of death was.
Exactly.
Because if you don't have that, then you don't have a murder case. Like,
yeah, and like across like all the different kinds of deaths. Okay, the air embolism for me like honestly sticks out the most. Like they never talk about how many cases and how many other hospitals in the region, how many of those NICU babies die from that kind of stuff, or like that turns out to be a cause of death, you know, on a similar case or whatever. So like again, I feel like we just don't have any of like a baseline to go off of to be like, okay, yeah, this is why this sticks out in her instance. This is why this sticks out in her instance. Everything just feels like I'm telling you these things, but I'm not going to tell you what the baseline is. So you'll just have to assume.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So in my eyes, she is still innocent until she can be proven guilty, because she has not been proven guilty.
Do they have that in Europe?
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, because they showed that one guy, like the crown ruler, whatever. I don't know what their judge is like. Is the one that comes up with the decision if they're guilty or
but
not.
You're
or
not
something
innocent
like that.
until proven. You're like.
I don't know if that's how that goes there. I don't know. You could look it up. But
I don't care that much about
See, what I found weird was like when they were interviewing her. Well, not interviewing, but like questioning her. And then they're like, but we didn't have any evidence to keep her. It wasn't she was just let go. They said she was put like on bail.
Yeah, she's bailed out. Yeah. Why?
Because I thought it was like, you don't have enough evidence. Oh, you let them go.
Yeah, I don't know what they meant by that, because they didn't say bailed out. They just said bailed. She was bailed. So I don't know what that means.
Or like if that's just their terminology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just their way of saying she was let go.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how that whole system works over there.
Yeah.
Across them seas.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was interesting though. They're like, we know we had to question her, so our only way was to arrest her. I was like, what?
It's weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was like, last I checked, you can just ask somebody to come in for
questioning.
Last I checked, you can arrest all of her coworkers. Did you?
Literally.
Seriously.
I was like, what?
You what do you mean you have a suspect in mind and you go and ask everybody around them?
No, literally. Then she had to email them. She sent it to them.
She emailed them like, you can talk to me about this.
Have a conversation, and they were like, "Let's arrest her." Bro,
seriously, that's where I go back to the whole like almost conspiracy theory. Like, was she the scapegoat? Like, was she the one to be set up to begin with?
I totally get that, because I'm like, bro, in her email, she made it very friendly and like, I will, like, I can't even imagine being in that situation where you know you must be a suspect and they're questioning everyone around you but yourself. Like, just come to me and ask me what you think. Like, let me tell you my story. I can not imagine like how frustrating that would be.
That'd be so frustrating, especially because then, like, after that, like, I mean, they already talked about how much she was, like, almost ostracized by all the other nurses. I can't imagine how much things got worse after that and how much her mental health deteriorated. You know, I mean...
And part of me, like, questions if that's why she didn't want to talk when they were, like, actually, like, interrogating her. Like, if it was because she was already, like, I offered to talk to you guys because I'm not guilty in this, and then you go say, you're guilty, now you need to tell us everything. When it was like, I was willing to tell you things beforehand, and you weren't willing to listen to me then.
Right.
Like when you're like, you know, I think I'm gonna go do the dishes to be nice, and then your parents is
like
go do the dishes.
Like, now
I don't want to do them anymore.
Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So
I really do wish they had interviewed her, because I feel like she deserved a voice in this. It just felt like
she did.
It was everyone else. And
it was everyone else. I mean, honestly, it seems like all of it, like not just the documentary, but like the entire case, like she never had a voice in it. It doesn't even, like, even when they talk about the fact that she was up on the stand at that one point, it was just because they were questioning her about things. It wasn't like, not even her defense team. They weren't even able to be like, hey, tell me, what was your experience on the ward? Like, what was your experience with, you know, whatever. And this is, you know, like they, like, no, we never heard from her.
Right. No, we didn't.
We heard from her friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plenty of times.
Plenty of times. Too many times.
And to see that creepy AI face too many times.
Too many times. That and baby Zoe Mama's face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And I also found it kind of weird that these people were like, I want to be anonymous, but they're sharing like teenage photos of them.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
It wasn't even, because that was when they were in nursing school, which means
so they're like adults.
college.
Yeah.
Like, you just you realize people.
You probably didn't change much.
Who you are,
and
like,
yeah.
No.
I mean, you know, whatever floats your boat, girl.
Yeah.
Or like with the Zoe's mom person, like I guess I didn't actually really look because I was doing something else while watching it. But didn't they show a photo of her husband, and their son at the end?
Or
unless if it was just a different.
They showed a woman and a little boy walking away.
They showed a little boy and a woman walking away. They didn't show their faces. But I thought they showed something about, like, I don't know, like the Facebook account or something. I don't know, maybe not.
But I mean, do we know it's actually them?
That's true. We don't.
No.
We don't. That's true.
Just some stock photos of
Could be. Pictures they put in the picture frames.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. Yeah, it is crazy. Well, with that, if you haven't seen it yet, please go watch, or maybe better, just look it up. But get your own opinion. But in my opinion, innocent until proven guilty.
Always form your own opinion. I'll do that for you.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm
safe,
still
kids.
undecided about her.
Yeah.
But therefore, she would be innocent.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, innocent until proven. No,
So,
I get you. Yeah.
There's doubt. So
there's absolutely doubt in the mind. You're right. There's reasonable doubt.
Mm-hmm.
She should be tried in the U.S.
She should be.
If only.
They should file for an appeal.
If that's how that works.
I don't know how it works. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Sounds less complicated here, and here is complicated.
Yeah.
Bye, friends.
See you next week.
See you next week. Stay safe.
Thanks for surviving another episode of Chaos.
Don't forget to follow, comment, give us 5 stars, and share with your friends.
Or don't. You know us. We'll probably still be here talking anyways. Bye.
Bye.